Ayo friendos, today's tea is steamy hot. And no, I'm not talking about that same stale tea from last week. No, I've got new tea. And you might wonder, why do I keep doing this to myself? Buying these Sephora Favorites perfume sets only to be disappointed. Well, friendos, I don't know. I suppose because it's entertaining. And today is the hottest tea of all. Let's get started. I promise it's coming. Just be patient. And friendos, just stay tuned. Okay, so this is the bag that it came in. You know, normally it comes in those boxes. This time it came in a little bag. I really do appreciate this. So today's Sephora Favorites is the Spa Day Scents. And if you haven't tuned into my channel before, I do a lot of shopping on Sephora. They get a lot, and I mean a lot, of my spending money. So if you find yourself in the same boat and you're wondering what to buy from Sephora, this is a good place to subscribe to because I cover a lot from there. Okay, so with the Sephora Favorites, this again was supposed to be Spa Day Scents. What do you guys think of when you think of Spa Day Scents? For me, it's something along the lines of lavender, lemongrass, eucalyptus, tea, maybe some chamomile, some sage, something along those lines, sandalwood. I don't know who named this. So the scents included our Commodity Milk, Juliet Has a Gun, Not a Perfume, Fleur Missing Person, Nest Madagascar Vanilla, Clean Reserve Skin, Floral Street Arizona Bloom, and lastly, Rosie by Rosie Jane. I got my notes on my notes right here. So let's get started with that first. So this set retails for $28. We're about to get into the scent notes of all of these different fragrances, talk about if they are a rollerball or a travel spray, talk about how much product you get because, believe it or not, on this set, the amount that you get varies quite a bit. And then also the price range of these fragrances. You will be shocked, but even that's not the tea. So we're starting out today with Commodity Milk. Now, should you choose to use the voucher that comes with all of these Sephora sets for this particular perfume, you would be very disappointed because this one only sells for $25. So technically, you would have lost $3 on this perfume. So on the Sephora site, Commodity Milk is labeled a few different ways. This is the one labeled expressive. And this one is so hyped. It's very gourmandish. It's very unique. I would say out of all of them, this one was one of the very most unique fragrances that I've tried, even in a while. So the notes are milk, marshmallow, natural musk, tonka bean, and mahogany. So this one actually reminds me a lot of, where is she? She's in here. Where's my girl? This one reminds me a lot of a perfume I already know and love. It is Missing Person by Fleur. And you know, Fleur is included in this set. So I'm not going to harp too much on the similarity between the notes. But this does smell like I sprayed Fleur Missing Person and then drank a chai tea latte. This one is the spicier version, and I have to tell you guys, I actually wish that I would have found the Commodity scent before Missing Person because I think I would have purchased Commodity Milk instead of Missing Person. With that said, if you already own one, do you need to rush out and get the other? No, not really. They are similar, and if you have something that's spicy and tea in your collection, you could probably pair them together and make something very similar. So one of the notes, of course, is milk. It is lactonic, but I don't get a good dose of milk, just like it's named. I don't really feel like that fits, if I'm being honest. This is also one of the most hyped perfumes in the set. This one came out in 2021. I've just heard a lot about Commodity. I really wanted to try more from them. So I was curious if this would live up to that hype. I think it does. It also has like this slight little note of amaretto that kind of lingers on the skin and is very beautiful. The other thing that I'll say for this fragrance is it is beast mode. It has a massive projection and it lasts on my skin. It felt like eternally. And in this travel spray, you will get 10 milliliters worth of product. So yeah, this one is definitely one to check out. So the next one has been around since 2010. And this is Juliet Has a Gun, Not a Perfume. Sorry about that, guys. I had to get my eyes to come back to the forefront after getting stuck in the back of my head after that huge eye roll. I am so sorry if this is your favorite perfume. I am not saying this to hurt your feelings, but I feel like the only creativity that goes into this brand is in the naming. They try to get you with the shock value, and it's just not enough, at least not enough for this consumer. So yeah, you will get 7.5 milliliters of product, which is significantly less than some of the other ones that are included. This one ordinarily sells for $30, so you would save $2 whole by purchasing this using the voucher. So what does this smell like? It smells like syntheticness. The only note. The one and only note, and why it's considered not a perfume, is that it consists of synthetic ambergris. It's a product known as Cetalox, and if you've ever smelled ambergris, I don't know that I would want to smell it just on its own. The synthetic version is even worse in my opinion. Also, if you're curious, what the hell is ambergris? Look it up. It's very interesting. It's something that forms inside of a whale, and eventually the whale will either barf it up or poop it out. My sister thinks I'm crazy. I'm not. Check it out. So y'all, this has a very strong alcohol smell. That alcohol smell does not go away. It just lingers on the skin. At least that was my experience. That's how it performed on my skin. And it's one of the only fragrances from the set that claims to be hypoallergenic. So if you are someone who has trouble with normal perfumes, this could be an option. So moving on, our next fragrance is Nest Madagascar Vanilla. So this one is a perfume oil, and sadly it comes in a roller ball. This will be a negative for me because if I didn't use that thing up in 6 months, it's probably going to go bad in the meantime. If you've ever looked up how roller balls function in a perfume, it's really not good. You're letting in all kind of debris, dirty skin. I hate to say dirty skin, but you know, your dead skin cells, sweat. You're getting all of that in your perfume when you roll that roller ball across your arm. In the end, bacteria sets in and it tends to age your perfume very quickly. And if you do find this one to be the most delightful and you want to spend your voucher on it, then you'll have gotten a pretty good deal because you'll save $7. This one normally sells for $35. And out of all the fragrances, this one gives you the most measly amount of product. You get 6 milliliters of product in this roller ball. This is also one of the newest fragrances as it was released in 2021. Now you guys know we always do a smell test around here. Everyone in my home liked this scent, but we all had one thing to say about it. It smells really fruity. So I let people blind smell this. I did not tell them what I was wearing. And they all thought it was a fruity scent. They didn't think it was a vanilla scent. This is one to try on. You don't want to just blind buy this in my opinion. And this is typical of Nest. My relationship with Nest is so love-hate. Most of the time I end up liking whatever fragrance they come up with. But yeah, I feel like a lot of times Nest takes the easy way out. They source their perfume oil from a cheap source and then they just pack it full of that perfume oil. And that's kind of what I think has happened here. It just doesn't smell like a high-grade vanilla. Even though it does smell good with the fruity notes, it just kind of smells like fruit punch, and I don't think that I want that for me. Like, I wouldn't consider that to be a favorite. So the notes on here are vanilla bean, vanilla orchid, and coconut. Again, there's some other fruit mixed in there. I don't really even smell a whole lot of coconut in there either. So it's just something to keep in mind. But you know, Nest has super cute packaging, so that could be an allure for some people. Are you guys noticing something? We've been through 3 fragrances so far. Do any of them sound spa-like to you? Because they don't to me. Okay, let's keep going. So next up is Fleur Missing Person. You guys know I already own this one in a regular size. Y'all have heard me talk about it quite a bit, so I'm just gonna breeze through this one. The notes are musk, bergamot jasmine, cyclamen neroli orange blossom, white musk Australian sandalwood, and white wood. This one launched in 2022. It's also one of those very hyped perfumes. With this one, should you choose to redeem it, you would get 9.5 milliliters worth of product. This is the Eau de Parfum version, and you would lose money on this one because this one retails for $26 and the set costs $28, so you'd be down $2. Also worth noting that this one is considered to be a clean scent. I feel like a lot of clean scents that are coming out now, they just don't last very long on the skin, but this one does. So next up, guys, this is it. I'm about to spill that hot tea all over all of us. We're all gonna have 2nd-degree burns. Okay, no. Okay, not that, but here comes the hot tea. So, Floral Street Arizona Bloom. That's listed as one of your choices. And it says that you can redeem this for a 10 milliliter container of this fragrance. So I would say out of all these, this one is the most unique. It came out in 2020. This one was described as my sister as obnoxious. They describe it themselves as a fresh solar, but all I can smell is a natural cat litter that I bought a long time ago for my cat who's dead now. Okay, but straight up, I've bought this litter before. It smells like cedar wood chippings. It has a little bit of like a hay vibe. Now the scents that they list are coconut, salt, musk, cashmere wood, fig leaf, amber, black pepper, oak moss, and jasmine. It smells somewhere in between cedar wood chippings and being out on a farm and being surrounded by hay. I'd put it somewhere in there. There are some bright notes in there, but they're indiscernible. Like I can't tell. Usually my nose can pick out what I'm smelling and I can't with this fragrance. But let's say this one was your favorite and you decided that you're gonna redeem that certificate. Well, you'd have to quickly change your mind because this fragrance is not even listed on Sephora. I'm not talking like there's a listing and it says sold out or it will be back soon. The fragrance size of Arizona Bloom does not exist on their website at the time that I'm recording this video. What the Sephora? I don't know how this happened. I don't know if they ever had this in a travel size, but if you know, if you work there, if you've seen it, if you bought it, if you liked it and you bought it, let me know because I really want to know what is going on here. So I don't know how much it would have sold for because again, it's not on the site. Now moving on, I really like this one, you guys. So this one is Clean Reserve Skin. So for this one, if you do choose to redeem your voucher for it, you would get 10 milliliters worth of product in a travel size spray. This one normally retails for $29. And I would say this one out of all of them is the absolute sweetest. I also felt like out of all of them, this one was the most spa-like. So the notes are praline, musk, salt, tonka bean, leather, and it's described as a floral musk. Let me tell you, I would not go on these scents listed because what? So I don't really smell praline. I do smell musk. The opening smells just like the dry down of Missing Person. So before this one has a chance to really solidify itself on the skin, smells just like Missing Person. But then that kind of goes away and you're left, well, I was left with a lemon sugary vibe. And those are not listed as scents on this scent. I do not smell leather at all. I even find that very odd that it's listed as one of the fragrance notes. I just want to ask, did somebody mess up? I smell a little bit of the tonka bean and of course the musk, but the main thing that comes through is sweetness. Okay guys, this last one would be your best value. It's Rosy Perfume by Rosie Jane. You would get 7 milliliters worth of product, which is significantly less than some of the other ones, but this one on its own without the voucher retails for $45 for a travel size spray. So this one is a perfume oil and it's very simplistic. This launched in 2016 and the notes are musk, red rose, Moroccan rose, and vanilla. Sadly for me, this disappeared from my skin almost instantaneously. I got around 5 minutes of wear time. My sister was trying to smell it on my skin and she was basically like all up in my arm trying to find it. She couldn't find it. It was intense. Oh gosh, I think that's one of your boogers from yesterday. So I do think that this one does smell good, but again, if it doesn't last, is it really worth turning in your voucher and getting that? I don't think so. So friendos, go ahead, cast your vote. Which perfume do you think I picked out? And guys, there's a story. I got Clean Reserve Skin. Again, this was one that I felt was the most spa-like, and that's what I was in the mood for when I purchased this spa day scents. Sephora favorites package. So here's the story. I went and looked at all the travel sprays at my local Sephora. There was this lady who desperately wanted to be exactly where I was. So I had this narrowed down between Commodity Milk and this one, Skin. So I didn't see Commodity Milk, but I grabbed this one. I go up to the front to ring it up, and the lady's like, okay, that's $29. I hadn't even looked at the time. I hadn't done my research, and I was like, 29? She's like, yeah. And I was like, oh, I have this voucher, but it cost me $28. I really wasn't trying to be rude, but I think I said something like, oh, great. I saved a whole dollar. And this poor woman, I really didn't mean to upset her, and I really wasn't trying to be rude. I'm just kind of weird and socially awkward, so that's what I blurted out was, oh great, I saved a whole dollar. This woman had definitely been trained to be the biggest Sephora proponent of all time because the look of panic on her face. Oh, you realize that these sets are so that you can get some that you're not really familiar with, and then you get to take them home and test them and try them out and see how long they last on your skin. It's really just for you to get to know the fragrance, and it's a good way for you to get a whole bunch of fragrances at one time, and you'll be able to try them out, and then you'll get to decide on the one that you want the most. If this one isn't that good of a deal, we could go back over there and we could look and see which other ones might be a better deal for you. And I'm just like, oh my God. It really was not that big of a deal to me. And I was like, no, that's okay. And she's like, oh, did you like any of these other ones? And I'm just like, I liked Commodity Milk. And then she goes over there and she's like, we don't have that one. So I think you're going to be better off going with this one. It is $1 more than what you paid for the set. So it's still a great deal. So I think you should pick this one. And I was just like, y'all, I don't like going out in public. I don't like going anywhere. I don't like leaving my house, and I only like talking to my family. It was just a little much. And so I'm like, okay, I'll get this one. It's fine. I'm just like, I gotta get a video up anyways. Oh, do I regret? I regret saying another word. She started interrogating me about social media, and she's like, are you very successful? And I'm just like, no. And she's like, oh, well, hang in there. And she rings me up and she gives me the bag, and I'm like, thank you. And I just run out of there, got in my car, and I drove home. And I just decided then and there, I just never need to leave the house ever again. The end. That's a great story, right? Okay. So here's my bottle. Let's give her a nice little spray. It's like lemon icing. It is that lemony sugar goodness mixed with Fleur. I'm not disappointed in my purchase, but I do eventually want to go back and get the Commodity Milk. And yeah, that's all I have to say, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think about this tea. Let me know what you think about the whole Arizona Bloom being just missing from the sites. Let me know if you have purchased a new perfume recently and what you think of it. As always, I wish you guys an amazing rest of your day. Please don't hesitate to give this video a big like if you did have a fun time here today. Subscribe if you have not done so already, because if not, we'll both have to live in the sorrow of never knowing what could have been. Alright guys, have a fantastic day. Bye!